Ever feel like the best business advice comes from those,
Yeah.
Unexpected places?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, today's deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
this is going to take us to the bar.
Okay.
But we're not talking like happy hour cocktails or anything like that.
Right.
We're going to be shaking things up with Neil Rogers.
Okay.
He's a former bartender turned entrepreneur.
Interesting.
And his book is called Bar Tips.
Okay.
Have you heard of this?
I have, yeah. It's a good one.
So you send over some excerpts.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, I'm already kind of intrigued by how he connects slinging drinks
Yeah.
with building a successful business.
Yeah. What's fascinating is how Rogers goes beyond just those like surface level comparisons. You know,
Okay.
he doesn't just say bartending is like business because you deal with people.
Right.
He digs into the nuances of those interactions,
Looks-
those subtle skills that you develop when you're like managing a bar, and reveals how they become these almost like unfair advantages in the business world.
Okay, so unpack that a bit.
Okay.
When I think bartender, I think charisma, maybe a bit of showmanship behind the counter.
Sure.
How does Rogers elevate those qualities into some kind of framework for business success?
Well, he breaks it down into these core principles:
Okay.
customer service, time management, problem solving, relationship building.
Mm-hmm.
These aren't just bartender skills.
Right.
These are foundational to any successful business.
Yeah.
And what's really compelling is how he shares his personal aha moments.
Okay.
Like realizing that his true passion wasn't actually mixing drinks.
Oh, interesting.
It was that genuine connection with people.
Yeah.
That's a powerful insight for anybody, in a service-oriented field.
It reminds me of that saying, people don't always remember what they said, but they'll always remember how you made them feel.
Yeah, exactly.
And Rogers takes that idea even further.
Okay.
And he argues that all business is the hospitality business.
It's a bold statement.
Yeah.
But then he backs it up with these fantastic anecdotes.
Okay.
He talks about the CEO of Five Guys Burgers, who's obsessed with creating an amazing experience for customers,
Uh-huh.
putting that above even the burgers themselves.
Wow.
And then there's this high-end clothing store
Okay.
that uses a simple gumball machine
Oh, wow.
as a way to inject a bit of fun and surprise into the shopping experience.
It's those little unexpected touches that can really elevate a business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rogers and his wife, Lori, they have their own tradition
Okay.
of sending monthly goodies
Yeah.
and personalized calendars to clients.
Oh, that's great.
It's those small acts of over-delivering
Yeah,
that build loyalty.
exactly.
They keep people coming back.
And he provides some really concrete examples of
Okay.
how that plays out in different industries.
Okay.
He talks about a financial advisor who offers free educational resources
Mm-hmm.
and even connects clients with other professionals,
Wow.
going above and beyond the typical financial advice,
Right.
or the bartender who becomes a local expert,
Okay.
offering restaurant and entertainment recommendations, turning a simple drink order into a memorable night out.
Speaking of memorable, this story about Rogers personally delivering T-shirts to a client
Oh, wow.
when a vendor messed up.
Wow.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that Maya Angelou quote. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel.
It's about building those genuine connections, creating those wow moments that customers remember and share. And,
Yeah.
Rogers connects this back to one of Dale Carnegie's principles,
Okay.
mastering the art of the greeting.
Carnegie's work is timeless.
It really is.
But it's fascinating to see how Rogers brings it to life
Yeah,
in the context of customer service.
absolutely.
He focuses on 3 key takeaways.
Okay.
Starting with that simple but powerful act,
Mm.
smiling.
Yes.
He even has that 10-5 rule.
Right. Making eye contact and smiling when a customer is within 10 feet, then adding a verbal greeting at 5 feet. It seems so simple,
Yeah.
but it makes a huge difference in how welcome and acknowledged a customer feels.
It's about creating that instant connection.
Yeah.
And then there's the challenge we've all faced,
What's that?
remembering names.
Oh, yeah.
I'll admit I'm terrible at it.
Me too.
Rogers actually shares a funny anecdote about a guy named Sam Shufflebottom,
Okay.
a name you wouldn't easily forget,
Right.
but it underscores how much people value it when you remember their name.
Absolutely.
It makes them feel seen,
Yeah.
like they're more than just a transaction.
And Rogers is honest about the fact that it takes effort,
Yeah.
especially when you're meeting a lot of people.
Right.
But he has this system
Okay.
using the Notes app on his phone
Okay.
to jot down names and any little details that help him remember,
Oh, like what?
like someone's interest or even what they were wearing.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
But remembering a name is just the first step.
Okay.
Rogers also talks about active listening,
Mm-hmm.
which goes beyond just hearing what someone is saying.
Right.
It's about making them feel heard and understood,
Yeah.
engaging with their interests,
Yes.
making them the center of attention.
And here's where Rogers draws this fascinating parallel
Okay.
between running a well-oiled bar and running a successful business.
Okay.
It's all about organization and time management.
I like it.
He uses these contrasting examples,
Mhm.
like a poorly designed bar where the staff is constantly scrambling for supplies,
Oh, yeah.
leading to frustrated customers and a chaotic atmosphere.
It's amazing how the physical layout of a space
It really is.
can impact the customer experience.
Absolutely.
He talks about this chaotic new restaurant versus a super organized cafe.
Mm-hmm.
Same concept,
Yeah.
but night and day in terms of efficiency and customer satisfaction.
Exactly.
They really thought it out.
And then he contrasts that with Tia's, this
Right.
high-end bar he worked at,
Okay.
which had this incredibly efficient setup
Mm-hmm.
that allowed bartenders to multitask seamlessly
Right.
while keeping the focus on customer service. Yeah.
It highlights the importance of designing your workflow,
Right.
whether it's a bar or a business,
Yeah.
in a way that maximizes efficiency and minimizes stress.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
So how does Rogers translate his bartending experience into his own systems for organization and time management?
He's all about that systematic approach,
Okay.
from planning out his sales call routes,
Mhm.
using maps,
Star.
to creating daily to-do lists and prioritizing tasks.
Mm-hmm.
He even emphasizes the importance of delegating effectively,
Right.
recognizing when to ask for help.
Yeah.
It's about knowing your strengths,
Mm.
recognizing your limitations,
Yeah.
and building a system that supports your success.
I like it. It's like that old saying, if you want something done right, sometimes you have to do it yourself, or at least build the system so it gets done right.
Right.
But it's not just about systems, is it?
No.
Rogers also talks about the importance of appearance, attitude, and ability,
Yes.
and how those three factors can make or break your success. Absolutely. Rogers argues that those three elements are like interconnected and equally important.
Okay.
He uses this analogy of a three-legged stool.
Okay.
If one leg is weak, the whole thing collapses.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating how he connects this back to his bartending experience.
Okay, so let's break that down,
Okay.
starting with appearance.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, it seems like the most superficial element.
Yeah.
Why does it matter so much, especially in the context of like business success?
It all goes back to first impressions
Okay.
and those nonverbal cues we're constantly sending out.
Right.
Rogers argues that as a bartender,
Mm-hmm.
you're the face of the establishment.
Okay.
Your appearance sets the tone for the customer's entire experience.
Right.
Think about it. You walk into a bar,
Okay.
and the bartender is disheveled, slouching, not making eye contact.
Yeah.
It instantly impacts how you feel about being there.
Yeah, you're less likely to stay,
Right.
spend money,
Exactly.
or come back.
Yeah.
You might even question the quality of drinks.
Precisely, it erodes trust before you even interact.
Interesting.
And Rogers stresses that this applies to any business.
Okay.
Whether you're meeting a client in person
Mm-hmm.
or showing up for a Zoom call,
Right.
your appearance communicates volumes about your professionalism, your attention to detail,
Yeah.
and even your respect for the person you're meeting.
It reminds me of that Oscar Wilde quote Rogers uses in the book.
Which one is that?
You can never be overdressed or overeducated.
It's about putting your best foot forward.
Yeah.
Demonstrating that you care about the impression you're making.
Right.
Rogers shares a story about how when he started out selling athletic footwear and apparel,
Okay.
he was blown away by how sharp his managers dress.
Really?
Always in high-end suits and shoes.
Wow.
It inspired him to up his own game.
Because it demonstrated that they took themselves and their work seriously.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not about being stuffy or pretentious or anything like that. It's about aligning your appearance with the level of professionalism you want to project.
Right.
And it's not just about clothes either.
Right?
It's about your overall demeanor,
Mm-hmm.
your grooming, your body language,
Right.
those subtle cues that speak volumes.
Which leads us to attitude,
Okay.
arguably the most important leg of the stool.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Rogers is a big believer in the power of positivity.
As he should be.
And he actually shares some of his own practices for cultivating a more optimistic outlook.
Oh, cool. What are some of them?
Well, he talks about these simple but effective habits, like keeping a gratitude journal,
Okay.
where he writes down 3 things he's grateful for each day.
Oh, nice.
or his practice of recalling past joys,
Okay.
those moments that evoke positive emotions.
Mhm.
He even talks about the power of consciously performing acts of kindness,
Oh.
those little gestures that brighten someone else's day.
I love that he walks the walk.
Yeah.
He's not just talking about positive thinking.
Right?
He's actively practicing it in his own life.
But he also acknowledges that maintaining a positive attitude, especially in the face of challenges,
Yeah,
takes effort.
for sure.
It's not about ignoring the negative.
Right.
It's about choosing to focus on the positive.
He actually shares a great anecdote
Oh, does he?
about how he used to keep those yellow sticky notes
Yeah.
on his car dashboard with motivational messages like it's the first week, things are going great, or
Yeah.
sales are getting better and better.
Wow.
It's a simple trick, but it clearly worked for him.
It's about creating that positive self-talk.
Yeah.
Those little reminders to focus on what you can control,
Mhm.
which is your attitude.
Exactly.
But what about ability?
Oh, okay.
Seems like some people are just naturally gifted in certain areas.
Yeah.
How do you develop those essential skills if you don't think you have them?
That's where Roger's story is so inspiring.
Okay.
He admits that when he started bartending, he wasn't even sure he had what it took to succeed.
Really?
But he discovered that he had these innate abilities.
The ability to connect with people,
Mm-hmm.
to multitask,
Mm-hmm.
to solve problems on the fly
Right.
that he didn't even realize he had.
It's amazing how often we underestimate our own capabilities.
Totally.
It's not until we're challenged,
Right.
pushed outside our comfort zones,
Mhm.
that we discover what we're truly capable of.
He emphasizes the importance of identifying your strengths,
Okay.
honing your skills, and being open to learning and growing.
Right.
He even talks about the importance of peripheral knowledge,
Okay, what's that?
going beyond your immediate area of expertise,
Right.
and cultivating a broader knowledge base.
So it's about being curious,
Yeah,
well-rounded and informed.
exactly.
Okay.
He uses this analogy of a hotel doorman
Okay.
who always seems to have the inside scoop on the best local spots.
Right.
From hidden gems to must-see attractions, they've cultivated this wealth of knowledge that goes beyond just opening doors.
Right.
They're a valuable resource.
And it makes people want to come back and ask for their recommendations.
It builds trust and credibility.
Exactly.
You're seen as a go-to expert,
Right.
someone who can provide valuable insights.
Yeah.
So how does Rogers apply this concept of peripheral knowledge to the business world?
He talks about how when he worked at bars in downtown Boston,
Okay.
he made a point of learning about local attractions, transportation,
Uh,
even the best ice cream shop in the area. He knew that customers might ask him for recommendations, and he wanted to be prepared.
it's about exceeding expectations,
Yeah,
going that extra mile to be helpful.
absolutely.
So you've mastered the art of the greeting.
Okay.
You're organized and efficient. You're radiating positivity,
Yeah.
and you're constantly expanding your knowledge base.
Okay.
What else does Rogers consider essential for success?
He dedicates a whole chapter to the importance of the send-off
Okay.
and the follow-up. He argues that these seemingly small details can have a huge impact on building lasting relationships.
Okay, explain that.
Okay.
In a bar setting, the send-off is pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah.
You thank the customer,
Mm-hmm.
wish them well, maybe offer a parting compliment.
Right.
How does that translate to a business context?
Rogers argues that in the business world, the send-off is often overlooked.
Really?
We get so caught up in closing the deal or finishing the project
Yeah.
that we forget about that final touch point.
Okay.
He emphasizes the importance of ending every interaction on a positive note,
Right.
reinforcing the value you've provided.
So it's not just about saying thanks for your business and moving on.
Exactly. It's about finding ways to make that final interaction memorable.
Okay, how so?
Rogers outlines his own approach to the send-off in his marketing business.
Okay.
After an order is shipped, his team sends out tracking information and confirms delivery.
Okay.
But then he follows up with a handwritten thank you note or a small branded gift.
It's those personal touches that really stand out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It shows that you value their business and that you're willing to go the extra mile.
Right.
And then there's the follow-up,
Okay.
which Rogers argues is crucial for nurturing those relationships over time.
It makes you realize how often we miss those opportunities
Yeah.
to stay top of mind and nurture those relationships.
For sure.
It's not just about closing the deal.
Right.
It's about building that ongoing connection.
Absolutely.
But shifting gears a bit,
Okay.
Rogers also dives into a more strategic framework for business growth,
Okay.
which he calls positive activity.
Interesting.
It sounds upbeat.
Yeah.
But what's the meat of this system?
It's interesting how he brings together those mindsets we were discussing.
Okay.
Positivity, hospitality, that bartender approach,
yeah.
and layers in these really practical business development strategies.
So it's a blend of mindset and mechanics.
Exactly.
Okay.
He breaks it down into 11 steps. But it all starts with that foundation of cultivating a positive attitude.
Right, which we talked about earlier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He even cites research showing that a positive mindset
Okay.
can actually boost your sales, productivity,
Wow.
and even your health.
It's amazing how those things are interconnected.
Yeah, it is.
But once you've got that positive foundation in place,
Yeah.
what's the first step in Rogers' positive activity system?
He starts with the fundamentals.
Okay.
Identifying your ideal client.
Okay, seems obvious.
It seems obvious, but he
Well.
encourages entrepreneurs to get crystal clear on who they're trying to reach,
Okay.
what those clients' needs are, their pain points, their aspirations.
Because if you're trying to appeal to everyone,
Yeah,
you're appealing to no one.
precisely. Once you have that target audience in mind,
Okay.
Rogers emphasizes the importance of crafting a compelling benefits statement.
Okay.
He argues that people don't buy products or services,
Right.
they buy benefits.
So it's not about the features. It's about the value you provide,
Yes.
the problem you solve.
He uses this great example from his days selling athletic footwear.
Okay.
He said he initially focused on all the technical features of the shoes,
Okay.
the cushioning, the support, the materials.
Hmm.
But it wasn't until he started highlighting the benefits,
Uh-huh.
the increased profit margins for retailers,
Okay.
the improved comfort and performance for athletes,
Right.
that he really started to connect with customers.
It's about speaking their language.
Yeah.
Showing them how you can help them achieve their goals.
Exactly.
Okay, so you've identified your ideal client.
Okay.
You've crafted your benefits statement.
Mm-hmm.
What's next in Rogers' positive activity system?
He's a big believer in creating a one-pager,
Okay.
a concise, visually appealing document that summarizes your key benefits and offerings.
Okay, so like a mini brochure.
Yeah, like a mini brochure.
Okay.
Or a sales sheet
Right.
that you can use to introduce yourself and your business to potential clients.
So it's about having something tangible to leave behind.
Yeah,
Something that encapsulates your value proposition
Yes.
in a digestible way.
exactly. It helps you stand out
Yeah.
and makes it easy for people to remember what you do.
Okay, you got your one-pager.
Okay.
You're radiating positivity.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get it in front of those ideal clients?
This is where he introduces the 7-touch theory. Based on the idea that it takes an average of 7 interactions with a prospect
Wow,
before they're ready to make a purchase.
that seems like a lot.
It sounds like a lot,
Yeah.
but it speaks to the importance of persistence
Right.
and showing up consistently over time.
And using a variety of touch points, email, phone calls, networking events, even direct mail.
Right.
Those handwritten notes Rogers loves so much.
Exactly. It's about creating multiple opportunities for connection.
Yeah.
But Rogers also emphasizes the importance of having different strategies
Okay.
for acquiring new customers
Right.
versus nurturing existing ones.
Makes sense that you wouldn't approach those relationships in the same way.
Right.
So what are some of the key differences in his approach?
For new business, he recommends leveraging referrals,
Okay.
networking events, and online platforms
Right.
to get your name and your one-pager in front of potential clients.
Yeah.
But for existing customers,
Okay.
it's all about building loyalty through those personal touches we talked about.
Like what?
Thank you notes, small gifts,
Yeah.
regular check-in calls,
Right.
just staying top of mind
Yeah.
and showing that you value their business.
And not being afraid to ask for referrals.
Right.
Or to explore opportunities to cross-sell or upsell,
Mm-hmm.
always providing additional value.
Exactly. It's that refilling the empties approach he talks about.
I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
He even provides specific guidance on managing that first meeting with a potential client,
Okay.
emphasizing the importance of being respectful of their time,
Right.
having a clear agenda,
Mm-hmm.
asking insightful questions, and really listening to their responses.
Right.
It all circles back to those core principles of hospitality
Yeah.
and building genuine connections.
It's a powerful reminder that success in business
Mm-hmm.
and really in life
Yeah,
often comes down to those human interactions,
he really does.
those moments of genuine connection
Absolutely.
that make people feel seen, heard, and valued.
I completely agree.
And, as we've been unpacking Roger's insights,
Yeah.
it's striking how much wisdom he's gleaned from those seemingly ordinary experiences behind the bar.
It's a brilliant reminder that the most valuable lessons can come from the most unexpected places.
I like that.
Yeah.
If we're open to paying attention and connecting the dots.
Absolutely.
Think about finding those hidden gems of wisdom in our own lives,
Yes.
polishing them up,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing how we can apply them to our own careers, businesses, and relationships.
I love that.
And you know what?
What's that?
Maybe those seemingly insignificant experiences,
Yeah.
those bartender moments, as Rogers calls them,
Right.
hold the key to unlocking unexpected success and fulfillment in our own journeys.
I think so too.
So pay attention.
Yeah.
Be present.
Be present.
And who
Yeah.
knows?
Who knows?
You might just discover the next great bar tip that changes everything.
I love it.